Hey guys, welcome business builders. Welcome to another small business spotlight for November. And I am so excited to introduce you all to an incredible woman that I've met almost a year ago, Angie, and your business, The Blended Collective Co. Angie, hi. Thank you for being here today with us.
Hi. So Angie, please come on and tell us a little bit about your business, where you're from, what you guys do.
So my name's Angie, and I am half of Blended Collective Co. The other half is my partner Ashley, who I met working at a local mental health center. Ashley is a dear friend of mine and is more like family at this point than she is a coworker turned friend turned family. And we pour 100% soy wax candles that are phthalate and paraben free, no headaches with our scents. And we have kind of ventured into other fragrance products like room sprays, perfumes, car diffusers. We are located in a small, very rural part of Ohio. I live in Coldwater and she lives in Salina. We used to do blended completely out of our homes, and we're kind of up to our necks in product and making supplies. And this past winter, so about a year ago, we were like, we have to get this stuff out of our house. We are choking on product, just the volume that we were making because we were growing so much. And put a call out on Facebook, got connected to some friends of ours who actually own a storage facility. And they had like a main warehouse at this, local store in Locke. And they converted it to be climate controlled for us. We moved into the warehouse and it is already, full, and we're pumping out product at a local warehouse facility. And it's been great. So we've been pouring candles for about 6 years now, and we love it. Originally, it just was a creative outlet for us, and it's turned into be a life lesson for both of us, I think.
Oh my gosh, what an incredible journey so far. Now, if I remember correctly, your business with Ashley didn't start with candles necessarily, did it?
No. So Ashley and I were working in mental health. And I do think like our mental health background, I'm a licensed professional clinical counselor and she's a licensed social worker. And we were working in local community mental health, and we were the home-based team. And what that meant was that we were going into homes where the children of the family were at risk of being removed from the home. And so we were going into some very intense and volatile situations. And so we were checking on each other via text, making sure each other were making it out of the home, or, like there were homes where, they were being removed for the condition of the home. And so we would text each other, like, make sure you wear closed-toed shoes today, like, make sure you wear socks, like we were kind of checking in on each other. We would drive kind of all over the county to these home-based families. And our work was just very kind of mentally intense, and we knew we needed some kind of like creative outlet. I was pregnant and I was like, I'm going to start sewing. My grandmother had taught me how to sew. And if you've ever sewn anything in your life, you learn that the seam ripper is your best friend and you're going to cuss like a sailor. And so I was just spending so much time like cursing my sewing machine and ripping things out, and what you needed to charge for a blanket and the time and investment to put in it. Somebody can go to Walmart or Kohl's and grab a blanket. And so the kind of value of that, time and effort wasn't appreciated. And our customers loved what we were making, but at the end of the day, they could go get something cheaper somewhere else. And so Ashley had kind of stumbled upon candle making, and she was like, hey, I'm going to make some candles. And I was like, sure, go for it. We can throw them up on the Blended website. And, or Blended at the time, we only had Facebook. And so we threw them up there and people loved them. And we were like, oh, okay. We kind of stuck it in our back pocket and just went back to kind of, blanket and baby goods and stuff. And it got to be holiday time. And I was like, Ash, I think think we should do this. And she was like, no, we don't have the time. We're busy. And I was like, no, I think we need to do this. Like, I'm either going to do this with you or I'm going to do this without you. And she was like, well, you're not doing it without me. So we met one weekend at her house and we poured, what we thought at the time was kind of a large batch of candles. It was probably, no more than 12, 24 candles. And she was pouring them all. And I had one of those like glass pitchers and went to pour it and it kind of ran back down the pitcher and ran all over her counter. And she was like, get out of here, get out of my kitchen right now. And from that moment, I have never poured another candle. So
strengths and weaknesses, right?
in business, you really have to highlight each other's strengths. Yeah. And she's a very hard worker, but she loves to be behind the scenes. She does not like to be on social media. She does not like to have her face on social media. But her strength is really attention to detail, organization, and she's a very hard worker. So
it sounds like to me, you guys have a great organizational chart already, right? You're CEO, she's COO, so she's operations. You're making sure you're the front-facing relations, right?
Yeah. So she makes all of our products, and I kind of say my job is always all other duties as assigned, and I handle everything else that arises in business, and she stays in the shop for me.
That's a great relationship. I love that story. I really love how you saw a gap in the market and you guys were willing to pivot, right? Because I think sometimes in business, I think we can get kind of stuck. You're like, no, I'm making baby products and blankets. No, I need to just hone in on this. But there was another opportunity that arose and you took the bull by the horns, right? You guys went ahead and said, hey, there's this opportunity over here. Let's dabble into it a little bit more. And you guys pivoted. That's great. That's great.
We knew that if we were ever going to be successful in small business, we needed a consumable product that people were going to purchase more than once. And, people, we live in a very rural town where people love to have babies, and that's great. But you can only have so many baby blankets, right? Like you're not consuming that item. So we were going to have to spread across consumers to get more customers in order to maintain sales. Whereas we knew that if we had a consumable product that we could get customers to come back for multiple times, that we could create a business out of it.
Yeah, most definitely. And the idea too is, especially with baby products, those babies grow up. So you're going to continually have to target the next generation of babies that are coming, right? Whereas in candles, you can if you make 100 candles and let's just do the 80-20 rule, 20 of those scents are going to be hits, right? And you could just continue to keep making that scent and that will be your flagship product, right?
And, the 80-20 rule is interesting to me because, I very much, you're going to sell 80% of your products to 20% of your customers. And I always try all of our customers are important to us, but that 20% is very valued in our business. And I don't know if the 80-20 rule applies to our scent.
Okay, go ahead. And I'm going to tell you a little bit what I experienced. Go ahead.
Yeah, because Ashley and I study our market really hard, right? Like we are watching every single launch that we do. We are watching what notes are people drawn to? What scents do people love? Where are our customers spending most of their money? And so we know what we love. And I think people often, pick those scents, especially in candle making or in perfumery, pick those scents of what they like, but we are very focused on what our customers like. So we launch 5 times a year. We launch winter, spring, summer, fall, and holiday. And then we also carry a signature line. And so when we launch 5 times a year, we have 5 opportunities that are, our collections are 8 scents. We have 5 opportunities to hit our customers' desires, right? And what they are loving. So fall is the easiest, right? We know that in fall, everybody wants everything to smell like pumpkins, right? They want pumpkin, spice, everything. And, while baking scents are not usually me and Ashley's jam, we know that that's what our customers want. And so we typically put about, 30-40% first, we have 8 scents. We always bring back our, 2 or 3 bestsellers from the previous year. We try 2 new scents that are going to be targeted towards our customers that we know they're going to love. And then we try to hit 3 other note families, whether they're, in the fall, we kind of do something more masculine and leather. do something more clean and bright. And then we tried to do something really kind of crazy and off the wall. This year we did like a haunted library scent, and it was so good. So, like we are really focused on making sure our customers get what they want. And, we made a mistake in our fall line. There was a scent that we knew they loved. We put it in a special edition vessel, but they wanted it in their primary, and we didn't do it that way. And I really thought they were going to riot or like take it out.
Hey, you did some split testing there, and you knew, hey, type A did better than type B. I love your strategy around that. And it actually correlates with the book that we're kind of talking about this month, which is Blue Ocean, right? It was the one we're talking about. And I really love that she found her blue ocean, right? Through a matter of just split testing. And it is, I love your strategy around your 8 cents and how you figure that's a blue ocean strategy in itself. And just, if you haven't read the book, so Kristen, please tell us a little bit about Blue Ocean Strategy, because what she just did, she found her blue ocean without even reading the book. It's incredible. It's great.
Right? No, it's how do you pull yourself out of the competition and exist in a realm where you're not worried about what your competition is doing. You're able to worry about what your customer wants. That's it in a nutshell. So yeah, I would agree. Your story is inspiring, and like, it sounds like you two have an incredible business relationship on each other's strengths and stuff like that. I'm curious, when did you feel like the true pivot, like where you really had a turning point in your business?
Yeah. And more personal, like the pivot happened out of personal need, but it ended up benefiting our business. And so we were maybe 2-ish years into our candle pouring, and we've now that I've been in this 8 years, I've seen other businesses take off much quicker than ours did for whatever reason, right? Like we were also working full-time jobs, we still do, but we were 2-ish years into pouring, and we were doing okay. We were getting social media traction online. Things were going well for us at the scale that we were currently making. And in November, around holiday time, I had a foot surgery, and I had my left foot totally reconstructed. I was in a boot, I was on a scooter, and I could not get around. And people are sending me these messages, and they're like, hey, Ange, can I come over and smell the holiday line before I pick, right? Like, candles are very much something that like you want to smell before you buy. And that's been something that we've had to try to address with our strategy is many customers want to smell what they can get before they make a large purchase. So they were like, hey, can I come over and sniff the candles? And I'm like, look, I can't even get out of this chair right now. Like I have this big boot on. I had, like the back of my cast was saturated in blood. Like my foot was in immense pain. It was huge. Like I was in a ton of pain. And, now it works great. It works better than my other foot. But, so they're wanting to come over, and I was like, Ash, we gotta do something. Like, I need some help. Like, we just need to pop up in my garage. We'll set everything up. I'll stand on the scooter. They can sniff what they need. I'll hand them, directly behind me. I'll hand them what they want, and they can come to you and check out. She was like, all right, sure. So we get this pop-up set up in my garage. We post some stuff on social media, and that night, I live in a small town. People lined up down my driveway, down the sidewalk to come sniff these candles. And I was like, Ashley, what are they all here for this? Right? So we had no clue that, we were going to have such great response, and people loved our business. They loved our product. They wanted to come smell the holiday line. We did great. And I was like, Ashley, we got to keep doing this, right? And we're like, we got to name this. We got to keep doing this. We got to do this each launch. So we, at the time, could not come up with a better name than a sniff event. And so
I love it. It just reminds me of a scratch and sniff card. You remember those?
Yeah. So now we hold a sniff event prior to every online launch. And this is, part of the other strategy is we've created, kind of supply and demand. So, if you come to the sniff event, it's not going to sell out, right? You're going to get what you want at that event. Some of the first events we did sell out of some of the sizes while we were figuring out quantities and response. And so people knew that if I want this specific scent that smells like pumpkins or whatever it is, I better get there first. I better be in line first. They'll sell out before they put them online, and I don't want them to sell out. So we created kind of a supply and demand need that now we offer, any, kind of like leftover product that we have from previous seasons. We put swag bags together. We give those to the first 30 customers. They get this nice bag of like free product, helps us use up previous season's product. They also get this nice treat for coming and standing in line. And then they get what they want first, and they get to be the first to sniff. They get their product, they take it home. Our customers are so great. They post about it online, which makes those who didn't come to the sniff event want to buy online. So we've created this like community of customers, and that's honestly been the best part of the business for us.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. Now, what would you say are some of the like key habits or strategies that really helped you stay resilient during those difficult times, like with your foot, and having to juggle full-time work with full-time business, how it is? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, being resilient is just like, part of life. I think like you're always going to have hard things thrown at you. There's been hard things thrown at me personally while we've gone through this business. I like get emotional thinking about those things, because having a creative outlet and something that's so meaningful that you're working so hard for, like, has really kept us motivated to continue to do it, right? There's certainly been hard moments in business. But yeah, I think when things get hard personally, I think it's like you just have to know that, you're working for something. When hard things happen in business, you have to focus on your kind of business pillars and focus on, what did you commit to doing, and what's your priorities in your business, and you just have to get rock solid on those.
Well, I'm curious. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kristen.
No, she has on her website, I think you call them your mottos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they are truly like pillars that, I feel maybe uphold every decision you make. And, share them with our listeners, because they are incredible. They got me. I get goosebumps when I reread them, or, you're about to share them. Yeah.
Yeah. They come up at different times. And I would say like, the one pillar that we just absolutely stands above all the other ones is that you just have to put blinders on sometimes, and you just have to put your head down and get back to work. There are going to be a lot of things that distract you in small business, whether it's, somebody trying to replicate you, whether it's, maybe a conflict between Ashley and I, which luckily are very few and far between. And I think us both being in mental health, that we can both be really authentic and good communicators, that helps us get back to, what's the foundation of our business and our friendship. There's things with finances that happen, and you're like, what are we going to do? And a lot of times we figure it out, and you put your head down and you get back to work. Like, we know our product, we know our customers, we know our business. And sometimes you just have to tune out all the noise, and I think Ashley and I, above all else, we're both hard workers, and we just get back to work. Like, we have to just get back to work and focus on moving forward rather than being distracted side to side.
Yep. So that's your first pillar. Your second one, which I feel like you kind of said and incorporated, you have your heart, something like having your heart in the right place, right?
Yeah,
and when you love what you do. Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, let me go to our website and look those up. I don't have them memorized.
No, it's okay. What I love about them, so many of them tie together. And Leilani and I have built, Saige Consultants, and why we do what we do all around, our why and what we want to do for small businesses. So I think, you said something in there along the, having your heart in the right place. The two word, you know what I mean? Put your heart in the right place and the rest will follow, I think is exactly how you worded it. And we talk about so much of having your why as a center for what you do. Like what motivates you, what gets you up in those hard times and stuff like that. But I feel like your why trickles into the other two of your pillars, that your children will inherit the earth, and to always use quality ingredients.
Yeah.
Right? Like all of that just, go ahead.
Sometimes I just need reminded of what they are, right? So, when we started this brand, like, the very first thing that Ashley and I said to each other was, I don't want to just be a candle brand. I don't want to just be somebody else who's selling something. We wanted to make a difference. And I think, again, that is like the mental health backbone of both of our hearts. Like, we just want to make a difference in this earth. Like, if it would come along and Target wanted a big contract with us and we quit our full-time jobs to do this full-time, I wouldn't want to just be somebody who sells something to Target. Like, I would want to be somebody who's making a difference in something. And so we very quickly wanted to identify some ways that our business could make a difference to other people. And one of the things that we do is every season we select what we call a gratitude scent, and $2 from every candle purchase gets kind of put into a bucket, and we, deliver that to this, cause or family. In small town, we, are all very close knit, and we are not immune from hard things that happen to us. And so, we find a local family who's got something going on, somebody in need, and we take, we share that scent, we share their story, and then we collect this money. And many times, our customers will come to us and will say, hey, can you put this, I'm going to give you an extra money. Can you put this with the donation? And we're like, absolutely. Thank you so much. And we promote that, and we raise money for local families, local agencies, and we give that money back. And it's one of the best things that we do. And it makes our work very meaningful.
That's so inspiring. Like, I love the give back. I think that's part of business success, right? Money is the byproduct of being in business, right? But that extra zest that you have, let me give back. Let me make sure I'm doing this at the core of it resounds with your heart and your soul. I mean, that's where the true value comes in your business. And I really, really love that. So I got a quick question for you, because I loved hearing your story of how you really just built this business from the ground up, right? We started on the dining room table, so we're right along with you, right? What would be your advice to startup entrepreneurs? What would be your advice, like how to start the business from the ground up?
Oh gosh, I feel like we truly fell into something we loved. Startup is hard. Like, I don't know that I've got like the butterflies and frillies to give to people, because I think small business ownership, entrepreneurs, it can be hard. There is many days, nothing that's not hard about this. But you just got to figure it out as you go, right? Like, you have to be resourceful. You have to be willing to work hard, and you have to be willing to do more than other people. Like,
I love it.
Yeah. I think that's probably what it is. You have to be willing to do more than other people. You cannot just be a get by kind of person. You're going to have to give more.
And I love the fact that you said resourceful, because absolutely 100%. Problem solving and being resourceful is going to be one of the biggest assets. Oh, and then relationship building. I think sometimes that's a little underestimated, is the fact that building those relationships from the ground up, and knowing that takes time too. So maybe patience, right? Have patience and the fact that startup is not going to be easy, right? But if you're resourceful and you focus on patience, relationships, and everything else you just said too, I think that'd be a good ground point for someone, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know where it falls into strategy, but like, our customers are absolutely number one to us. Like, we could not do this without our customers, right? And, along the way, like, maybe it's a byproduct because we are in such a small community, but like, our in-person following, many of the people who are my closest friends I met them I was their candle slinger, right? Like, they call me their candle lady, but like, one of the girls that I met through buying candles, her family and my family just went camping together, and our girls play and love each other, right? So it's like awesome. Those people who I met from me selling them a product, like, have become some of my closest friends. But it's not like, when we do a sniff event, it's not like you just come through the line. Like, it's not like you come through and like a McDonald's order. Like, do you want to use your mobile app today? Like, no, like it's, hey, how's it going? It's creating a relationship with them. And then also like me having this Rolodex of what are their favorite scents, right? Like, what do they love? Oh, yes, she loves baking. Don't let her sniff this. She's got to sniff this, right? Like, oh, she loves like fresh and different stuff. Like, let me have her try this. Or, you know, people come through and they're like, oh yeah, like you can just tell they're like ho-hum about the line. And I'm like, what are you not loving? What's missing? And then you like go grab, you know, it's like go grab something else that you know that they'll love. So that way they're not leaving feeling like, oh man, that just didn't hit for me. Like, so it's like knowing your business. And, you know, I learned about scenting and, you know, like note families and all of that by doing this. I had to be resourceful so that I could find out what our customers loved. So we knew what to pick next or what to put in a line. But yeah, absolutely. Customers and relationships, like it's the heart of what we do. Like we have to do it for them and do what they love.
Amazing.
Love that.
I love that. Angie, this has been incredible connecting with you about this. How can people find your product and connect with you? What's the best way?
Yeah, just go to our website. So www.blendedcollectiveco.com. And we have a great website that has lots of information about us, about our products. And then, you know, the afterthought is there is a shop page. So you can shop. We ship all over the United States. And yeah.
Yep. And then social media, you're on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
Yep. We'll put the links below as well, guys. So we'll have that to share. Do you prefer Instagram or Facebook for connecting with people? Either one?
And okay. I always say, like I mentioned earlier, like the hardest part of our product is people can't sniff through the computer. But we try to write really great scent descriptions so that you know what something smells like before you pick it. And I find that none of our scents are offensive. So you're sure to find something that you love.
And as someone who got to try her product, I completely agree with everything she has said. You do not get the headaches. It smells very rich based on what it is, right? It's a clean scent, a summery scent. I think what you sent us was a summery package, you know, and that was amazing. And I was so sad when my candle hit the bottom because it was just, and it filled the room in such a great way. So, Angie, this has been an amazing dialogue. Thank you so much. See you next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.